Greetings and welcome to the Child Development Laboratory at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. My name is Mr. Jawan Burwell and I am the Director of the Child Development Laboratory and will be your tour guide for today. The Child Development Laboratory at North Carolina A&T State University is pleased to welcome you to learn about the services we offer to our children, families, faculty, staff, and university students. The Child Development Laboratory is administered by the Department of Family and Consumer Sciences in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. The Child Development Laboratory offers a high-quality, 5-star program as determined by the North Carolina Division of Child Development and Early Education. This is the highest rating available to early childhood educational facilities in North Carolina. The Child Development Laboratory has 2 classrooms and a maximum enrollment of 34 children per year. The Child Development Laboratory operates from late August to early June. The hours of operation are from 7:45 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Monday through Friday. Our laboratory services children from ages 2.5 to 5 years old and provides an enriching environment for young children and their families. The Child Development Laboratory is a teaching, research, and service laboratory for students in the Department of Family and Consumer Sciences who major in Child Development and Family Studies at North Carolina A&T. The Child Development Laboratory is also available to use by students from other majors across the campus that have an interest in child development, child behavior, special education, human performance and leisure studies, speech pathology, social work, psychology, and other areas involving children and families. Parents or persons delivering and picking up each child must sign them in and out upon arrival and departure for verification of attendance. Next, the parent or person bringing the child to school will escort them to the restroom. The children must use the restroom and wash their hands before entering the classroom. To be considered for our program, your child must be fully potty trained out of pull-ups as our license does not allow us to change diapers. If you notice, the doors on the stalls are removed for supervision purposes. The boys use the front 2 stalls and the girls use the back 2 stalls. The teachers station themselves accordingly to cure children's curiosity and sing songs for the children who are waiting. In our program, we foster independence. Therefore, we are unable to assist with wiping. We will encourage the child to keep wiping until they feel comfortable. As soon as children finish using the restroom, they proceed to the sink to wash their hands. In our program, we practice the proper hand washing technique, which consists of wetting your hands, lathering with soap, scrubbing hands together and under fingernails for 20 seconds, rinse, dry hands with a single-use paper towel, and turn the water off using the paper towel. After all children have finished washing their hands, they will proceed back to the classroom as a group. This is our multi-purpose area. This area is used for several occasions. We have PTO meetings which are held on the second Tuesdays of September, November, January, March, and May at 5:30, facilitated by our co-PTO presidents. The meetings last no more than 15 to 30 minutes, depending on if we have a guest speaker. In this meeting, you will be provided with updates and any information that you need to be aware of about the Child Development Laboratory. You will sign the child out of the sign in and out book and then sign right into the PTO meeting. The children will remain in their classrooms during this time and you will pick them up after the meeting is over. PTO officer nominations are made and voted upon at the last PTO meeting in May. We also use this area to conduct orientation for university students to give them a brief overview of our program and the expectations that they must follow while they are here completing their field experience hours. Since we are a university lab school, you will have interactions with the university students. The university students are required to have a criminal background check that enables them to work around children, in addition to their state identification card, a current physical and negative TB test, emergency and health information, a confidentiality agreement, and a waiver of liability that must remain on file. They will interact with the children and staff, participate in projects developed by the teachers, conduct various assessments, and collect information that is valuable to their coursework. Finally, we also host various events throughout the year that we use this space for that will be discussed later on in the tour. This is our laundry room. This is where we prepare our sanitizing and disinfecting solution and keep our chemicals and paper products. We also wash and dry the children's sheets and blankets weekly. The teachers also sanitize and disinfect the toys and materials in the classroom weekly to prevent the spread of illness. The door to this room remains locked at all times. This is our kitchen area. We do not cook any meals on site in this area. We serve a morning and afternoon snack and a midday lunch that is catered through Guilford Child Development Catering for Kids. The catering service provides nutritious lunches that follow the USDA guidelines. All lunches consist of a bread or grain, protein, vegetable, fruit, and milk. We are a peanut-free facility. Therefore, any foods with peanuts will not be allowed into the facility. If a child has a food allergy or religious lifestyle preference, food substitutions will be provided. Families have the option to let their child receive our lunch, or they may provide the child's lunch. If families choose to provide the child's lunch, it must follow the USDA guidelines. Any child that has a food allergy must provide an EpiPen and Benadryl by the child's first day of school. The appropriate forms must be completed by a physician and turned into administration by the child's first day of school. In order for the child to receive morning snack, we encourage you to have the child at school no later than 8:30 a.m. No outside food will be allowed. Welcome to the younger classroom. This class has 2 teachers, Ms. Jones and Ms. Baskerville, and 16 children ranging from 2.5 to 3 years old. The ratio in the class is 1:8. Every year, the teachers choose a theme for their classroom. For 2018-2019 school year, they are the Aggie Dinosaurs. This is the parent board, which is located inside and outside of the classroom. The parent board on the outside includes the weekly menu, daily schedule, activity plan, and classroom news. We utilize a creative curriculum in which we believe children learn best through play and hands-on learning. The teachers also use the North Carolina Foundations for Early Learning and Development to identify individualized goals for each child. Also incorporated in the activity plan is a nutrition and physical activity program called Healthy Me, Healthy We. This program helps bridge the gap between home and school to encourage physical activity and healthy eating. We provide activities that are introduced twice a week at school and send them home with the children and families to continue throughout the week. Lastly, we incorporate a discipline practice that we call conscious discipline. This is a practice that teaches children to self-regulate their own emotions with their peers. To solve problems, the children are encouraged to use their words, and teachers will intervene if necessary. In this classroom, we build on the foundation of social and emotional development. When children first enter into our program, there is an increase in separation anxiety because majority of them have never been in an educational setting before. At the beginning, they will be crying, clinging, and trying to follow you back out the door. However, we ask that you assist us in making the transition smoother. It takes about 2 weeks to work with the child to get them acclimated to the environment and new teachers. After they are on a routine, the transition from home to school will be much easier. Ensuring children are on time for school will help with the transition as well. We expect our families to make arrangements to have children to school on time no later than 9 o'clock a.m. This is when the instructional day begins. After 9 o'clock a.m., the child will not be accepted for the day if the lab is not notified prior. The teachers in the class prepare classroom news as a conversation tool for the families. Usually when the families pick up their child in this class and ask the child, "What did you do for the day?" the child will respond and say they played all day. But with the classroom news, you can use this as talking points with the child to bring back to them the remembrance of what they did for the day. When children enter into the classroom after washing their hands and using the restroom, it is their responsibility to sign into the class. They are responsible for taking their symbol and placing it on the door to indicate they are here for the day. When they leave, they remove their symbol from the door and place it back in the bin to indicate they have departed for the day. The child has their own cubby and it is labeled with their name. The child is able to bring a backpack if they would like, and we also ask that you bring 2 full sets of clothing as accidents happen. The instructional time for the younger class is from 9 o'clock a.m. to 9:10 a.m. We only allow 10 minutes of group time because this is developmentally appropriate for their age group. In this class, they focus on content per month. The content includes 2 numbers, 2 letters, a shape, and a color. They also discuss the days of the week, the weather, and integrate music and movement. Also in the classroom, there are interest areas where the children have a free choice of where they would like to go. They are art, blocks, dramatic play, reading and literacy, music, math and manipulatives, sand and water, and discovery. Since we are a STEM program, science, technology, engineering, and math, we incorporate computers and iPads for 15 minutes per day per child. Children under age 3 are not permitted to have screen time. While the children are in their interest areas, the teachers are assessing the children's learning and development and document anecdotal notes in the area the child is in. These notes are shared with the families in 3 parent-teacher conferences that are held throughout the year. The teachers have a strategy of classroom management as they only allow a certain number of children to go into an area at a time. Each child has their own symbol that they place in the interest area that they would like to go to. Before the child goes to their respective area, they must stand in front of the group and practice their public speaking skills by saying their name and what center they would like to go to. Halfway throughout the school year, the teachers will start beginning to require the child to say their birthday as well. Another classroom management strategy the teachers use is the tambourine. This is used to get the children's attention and communicate to them what they need to know. Occasional bathroom breaks are taken during free choice. The children in the class have rest time from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Children are not required to go to sleep, however, they are required to rest their bodies. If the children are having a difficult time resting, we will provide them with books, puzzles, or soft toys to keep them occupied from waking the other children. Each child gets their own cot, sheet, and blanket. After rest time, the children wake up and have snacks. From the younger class, the children transition to the older class the following year. The older class is very similar in structure and setup. The only difference is the teachers prepare the children for kindergarten in this class. This class has 2 teachers, Ms. Black and Ms. Sellers, and 18 children ranging from 4 to 5 years old. The ratio in this class is 1:9. The Aggie Bears is the classroom theme for the 2018-2019 school year for the older class. Their parent board is also located inside and outside of the classroom. The parent board on the outside includes the weekly menu, daily schedule, activity plan, and the children's busy work. We recognize that when children transition into kindergarten, they will have homework. To ease with the transition, we provide a busy work folder that has daily activities that the children must complete and return back to school the following day. We encourage the families to let the child do their own work because this is how the teachers assess the child's learning and development. At the beginning of the school year, the teachers assist the children with getting acclimated to the new environment and also review the kindergarten checklist. The teachers work 3 months in advance to ensure the children are reaching the goals required for kindergarten. We pride ourselves as the children that leave our program and enter into kindergarten are reading on a first or second grade level. We have former families that come back and tell us how successful their child is progressing in school and how advanced they are. It is our goal as early childhood professionals to identify where the child is developmentally, set individualized goals, and take them further and further. Just like the younger class, when children enter into the classroom after washing their hands and using the restroom, it is their responsibility to sign into the class. They are responsible for taking their symbol and placing it on the door to indicate they are here for the day. When they leave, they remove their symbol from the door and place it back in the bin to indicate they have departed for the day. The one difference from both classes' symbols is the younger class has the children's name and picture. In the older class, the symbol just has the child's name because we want them to begin recognizing how their name looks. The children have instructional time from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. We only allow 15 minutes of group time because this is developmentally appropriate for their age group. The older class content includes letters, numbers, the calendar, weather, music and movement, value of money, time, and sight words. The child also has their own cubby that is labeled with their name and are allowed to bring a backpack if they would like. We also ask that you bring 2 full sets of clothing as accidents happen. All children have free choice in the interest areas throughout the day. The children also have rest time for 2 hours at the same time as the younger class from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. and have snack afterwards. This is our playground. Outside time is the children's favorite part of the day. Our main priority while we are outside is to ensure that all children are supervised and remaining safe. The teachers stagger themselves accordingly in order to engage and supervise the children at all times. We like to bring the inside outside. Therefore, we have sand and water, blocks, art, and dramatic play. The children also have a basketball and soccer goal they can play with. We have a bike track where the children can ride bikes and 2 crawling tunnels that the children thoroughly enjoy. The apparatus can only be utilized if a teacher is present on it because we want to ensure the children are going up and down the slides safely. We also have a gazebo if the child wants to read or just take a break. Around the playground perimeter, we have gardens. Usually in the spring, we till the dirt and soil and plant flowers, fruits, and vegetables. Sometimes we go outside of the fence and we go on nature walks. There are also times where we may take a walk across campus. Whenever we do this, the children still understand that we must remain safe at all times. The Division of Child Development and Early Education requires children to go outside a minimum of 1 hour per day, every day, depending on the wind chill or heat index. We ask that families ensure the children are dressed appropriately for the current season. Now that we have discussed the program structure, I also want to tell you about some of the activities we do throughout the year. In October, we are in the A&T Homecoming Parade. That entire week, we will have a fun spirit week. On that Friday before homecoming, we will close early because we have to be back at school the next day by 6 a.m. to begin transporting to the float. The parade lasts about an hour, and throughout the parade, we will be chanting our Aggie Pride. Also in October, we have a Scholastic Book Fair. The fair lasts for 1 week, and children and families can shop for any book they see. A percentage of the proceeds go to the classrooms to purchase new books for their respective libraries. There is also a theme that is correlated with the book fair. Lastly, we participate in the Student Health Center's Breast Cancer Awareness event. The children dedicate 2 songs to breast cancer survivors. We thoroughly enjoy participating in the events they invite us to. We do not celebrate specific holidays for culture and diversity purposes. However, we are creative and develop themes that still make those times of the year fun. In November, we have a family feast. This is where we have all of the families come together and we have a big gathering with a lot of food, fun, and fellowship. The children also have a small performance and they tell what they are thankful for. In December, we have a winter celebration. A theme is selected from a children's movie and we transform the lab into that particular movie. For example, we have done the movie Sing, Finding Dory, The Grinch, Madagascar, Grandma's House, and the Polar Express. This is such a fun time where our staff gets very creative before we go on winter break. In January, we begin the new year with a celebration of Martin Luther King Jr., and we also highlight a children's author to celebrate for the month. In February, we celebrate heart and dental health and African American history. Every year, the Student Health Center requests the children to come over to perform for the Aggies Go Red celebration. This is a partnership we plan to continue forever. In March, we begin taking field trips. The Division of Child Development and Early Education requires that all children must be at least age 3 before they can be transported. The Aggie Shuttle takes us to our different trips. We also ask 5 chaperones per class to go on each field trip. We typically take 3 or 4 field trips per year. We have been to the Greensboro Science Center, Greensboro Children's Museum, Art Quest, the Public Library, the A&T Farm, the Dudley Museum Art Gallery, and the Butterfly Farm. We also have many partnerships across campus where they will come and do activities with the children. In April, we celebrate Week of the Young Child, and we have our Fathers Initiative Field Day. The fathers come at 8 a.m. to set up activities in the cul-de-sac. We also have inflatables and the police and fire truck displays for the children. Moms are not allowed to come during this time since it is a father initiative. However, they are invited to join us for lunch at noon. We grill out and have a great time of fun and fellowship. Also in April, we have a spring hunt where each class gets to participate. Finally, in June, on the last day of school, we have a big celebration for our older children that will be transitioning into kindergarten. We celebrate them for their accomplishments and success in completing preschool. Lastly, we will discuss the enrollment process. Enrollment begins the first week in March until the first week in May. All families that have placed their child on the waiting list who meet the qualifications will be mailed an enrollment application, calendar, and fact sheet. The applications are due back the first week in April with a copy of the child's birth certificate. Once the application is received, we will place the child's name in the lottery system. To be fair, we make random selections that are 50% boys, 50% girls, 50% community affiliated, and 50% university affiliated. In order for the child to be considered university affiliated, the mother or father must be employed with the university. Otherwise, the child will be considered community affiliated. The lottery is completed the 3rd or 4th week in April, and we mail acceptance and alternative waiting list letters out the first week in May. If the child is accepted, families will have 3 days in July that are set aside by administration to complete the registration paperwork and meet with the teachers. Families must also pay a $100 holding fee that will secure their child's slot. Payments can be made in the form of a debit or credit card or NC Flex. After we receive the holding fee, the child will be officially enrolled. A mandatory orientation will be held in mid-August. This is a time where you and the child can meet the teachers and view the classroom. If you are interested in adding your child to the waiting list, you can visit us at 114 Luther Street, Greensboro, North Carolina 27411, or call us at 336-256-2750. Your child must be at least 2 years and 6 months and no more than 5 years old and fully potty trained by September 1st of the academic year. Thank you for your time and Aggie Pride.